Recreational cocaine users face random testing and could lose their passports under plans to cut demand for Class A drugs in Britain. Those who test positive face wearing a tag or drug patch that would constantly monitor drug intake.
Ant Lehane, head of policy at Cranstoun, a think tank that looks at drug-related policy, joins us now. Why is there a need for a crackdown on what is often middle-class cocaine use?
Hello, and thank you for having me on this morning. So there's been a crackdown for the last little while since the government released its sort of drug strategy, which was attached to the Home Office. It came off the back of a really good report by Dame Carol Black. I think the reason that middle-class cocaine use, and particularly the link to football, has become so prevalent is probably to do with the scenes last year during the Euro finals and prior to that. I do think that actually some of the sort of headline policies that have come across, I personally disagree with. I don't think they'll get to the root causes of cutting drug use. And I do also feel that banning someone for 5 years from football for using cocaine when anyone can get, paralytically drunk as they like at football without any consequences is probably a little bit extreme. I think it could increase profiling. I just don't feel that's going to get to the root cause of the issue.
The ideas that have been suggested are giving recreational cocaine users random testing. You could lose your passport. Would these ideas, would they be deterrents enough?
I don't believe so, no. I think they sound good. I think they have a nice bit of sort of PR shine to them, but I don't think they'll act as useful deterrents. I think random drug testing is quite inhumane. I wouldn't recommend any, social time or workplace that should be drug testing people. I'm very against anyone being drug tested, and particularly the hypocrisy talking about middle-class cocaine use when traces of cocaine have been found at the Houses of Commons. There was, I think, a few arrests last year for possession offences. Now, I'm suggesting that we go and drug test MPs, but actually, I think we need to look at this in a bit of a more fair way.
Well, yeah, talk a little bit more about that. What is the fair way that you think they should look at it in, and what is the root cause of this problem?
So I think we need to view all issues related to drugs as a health issue. I think we need to be more proactive to cut reoffending and actually educate people on the harms of cocaine use. I think cocaine is pretty prevalent in football matches. It's pretty obvious that it's around. But I think a lot of people taking it don't realise actually that cocaine is a really, really harmful drug. It's become very normalised. So I think instead of these, what the government are calling tough consequences, we need to be educating people on the harms of cocaine use. People who are caught up for possession offences, I would recommend that these people are put through sort of education classes and are given more support for potential addiction issues or overuse of cocaine as opposed to punitive measures. I think punitive measures haven't worked before. The maximum penalty for possessing a Class A substances is, I believe, 5 years in prison. So if that's not acted as a deterrent, I don't think that taking someone's passport away so they can't go to a European away game is going to make any difference either.
And thank you very much for talking to us.
Thanks so much.
The news that there are plans for a new model of sanctions being considered ahead of a white paper that's going to be published at the end of July about how to crack down on cocaine use. Do keep your views coming in, gbviews@gbnews.uk.